You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play.
The futures markets can be downright scary. Limit up, limit down. What the heck is RBOB anyway? Are they going to dump a truckload of soybeans on your front lawn if you click the wrong button? Come to think of it, maybe you should just stick to your comfort zone. Or you can break out of it with the Futures Rundown. The Futures Rundown is here to help you make sense of these scary markets. We'll analyze all the top futures trading activity, explore the ins and outs of your favorite products, explain exactly how futures work, and hear from leading experts in the futures markets. We'll even tackle all of your wildest futures trading questions. If it involves futures, then you'll hear about it on the Futures Rundown. And now, it's time to break into the futures markets. It's time for the Futures Rundown.
All right, everybody, that music means we are back. It is time once again to talk some futures on the network. It is time for the Futures Rundown. My name, of course, is Mark Longo from the Options Insider Radio Network. Reminding you at the top of the show, make sure you're subscribed to the full network wherever you get your favorite shows, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube. We don't judge. Make sure you're checking it all out. And of course, if you want to check out everything, make sure you're checking out the pro, theoptionsinsider.com/pro. Futures talk sneaks in there quite a bit, including this week's pro Q&A session with our good buddy, Mr. Rich Excel, talking crude, talking the VIX futures, we talk precious metals, we talk crypto, a lot of futures coming into the pro Q&A this week. Theoptionsinsider.com/pro is the place to go as we go on into a little bit of the old trading pit.
It's time to break down all the action that's lighting up the futures markets this week. What's limit up and what's crashing and burning? Let's find out. It's time to enter the trading pit.
All right, everybody, what's lighting up the markets on this Fed week and indeed a shortened holiday week? We do have the Juneteenth holiday coming up on Friday. Well, let's find out together, shall we? To the upside we go first. Let's kick things off with a smile. Number 5 to the upside this week is silver. So if you're a silver bull, you got a little bit of a smile back on your face after taking a bit of a drubbing of late. Silver up 6 3/4%. For the number 5 spot, number 4, we're keeping it in precious. We're going palladium up nearly 8%, about 7.8% this week for the number 4 spot. Number 3, we got our combo, the big and the micro ether futures. Yes, ether on the upside movers for the week. Haven't seen that in quite some time. In fact, if you've been listening to the show for a while, you know that ether has been the biggest loser of all the products we track so far year to date. So ETH bulls will take what they can get. In this case, it's about 8 1/4% to the upside. Number 2, another one that's been beaten up of late. Perhaps this is a revenge of the losers week out here on the Futures Rundown, because we got cocoa coming in at number 2, up 10 1/4%. And then the big dog, this is one that's perhaps not quite as welcome. It's coffee, up a little over 11, about 11.2% on the week. So there we go. We'll take what we can get. And if you're an ETH or a cocoa bull, you've had a rough time of late. So congrats to you. You got a little bit to smile about this week. All right, to the downside we go. And if you are an energy bull this week, perhaps the downside is not your friend. We're going to expand it to a bottom 6. You'll see why in a second. Number 6, we got our old pal RBOB. This one will definitely be welcome for all of you out there who have felt the pain at the pump over the last few months. RBOB giving back 7.5% this week. What the heck is RBOB anyway? Says the man in the intro. Number 5, it's OJ continuing its sell-off, off about 10 3/4% this week. Number 4, the first of 2 flavors of crude. It's Brent, off 11 1/4% this week. Outpacing Brent to the dark side for a number 3 this week. it's heating oil off a little over 12, about 12.1%. They've been leading our list of winners for the year, giving some of that back now. Number 2 to the dark side this week. Again, we were talking about this on the show last week with our guest from Energy Rogue, just how volatile, pun intended, this name is. Of course, it's the VIX. It was to the light side last week, to the dark side this week, off 12.33%. So they're coming for vol this week after giving a lot of it back last week. And then our biggest downside mover this week, you haven't heard it yet, so you can probably guess what it is. Yep, it's our old pal WTI, off a tick under 14% for the weeks. A lot of people have been wondering what would happen if and when there was some sort of détente over there in the Middle East. Well, here you go. Here's at least the first inklings of it, as crude and energy pretty much getting annihilated across the board. Is all this energy annihilation on top of the fact that we had the Fed today, first meeting of the new Fed governor, who was, let's face it, put in the job to cut rates. Didn't do it today, held rates steady. So be interesting to see how long he can get away with that for, but he was able to do it today. Is all this consternation, is this leading to some volume today? It's decent. It's not blowing the doors off. We've seen Fed days be far more active than this, but you get to the top of our list and it does look pretty active. So kind of a tale of two tapes here. Bottom half of our list, not blowing the doors off. Top half, starting to get a little spicy. Number 10 is the 30-year. And again, we're hanging out in pretty much all September, all the time. Pretty much all of our June has rolled off the board, with the exception of one product. You can probably guess what it is by now. I'll just give you a hint. It's SOFR. Number 10, 30-year T-bond, 357,000 contracts for the number 10 spot. All right, number 9, listeners, it's the Nasdaq, 455,000 contracts on the tape. Number 8, to the ultra 10-year we go, 493,000 contracts. Number 7, yep, it's 3 months SOFR, the D's contract, of course, 968,000 contracts. That's quite a jump between number 8 and number 7. So maybe I misspoke earlier. Maybe we have a pretty quiet bottom 3 and then the top 7 on Fed Day, carrying a little bit more weight out here. Number 6, the 2-year note, 1.05 million. So number 6, we're already north of 1 million contracts on the tape. It's been a little while since we've seen that out there. We are recording the show a little bit later today, so that is going to add a little bit more volume out here. But still, these are strong numbers once you get beyond the first few on the docket. Number 5, we're going to the first equity on our list. It's the S&P Micro, 1.18 million contracts on the tape already. Number 4, it's the big dog E-mini, 1.23 million contracts on the tape. Number 3, the 5-year note. Lately, we've seen the 5-year note seemingly glued to number 5, but not today. Coming in all the way at number 3, 1.46 million. Number 2, it's the 10-year note, 1.72 million. That's a lot of paper. What could beat that? You know what it is. It's the Nasdaq Micro, and they are putting up some numbers, listeners. 2.57 million contracts. That's the hottest we've seen, the top of our list in some time. So again, kind of a bifurcated list. The bottom portion, not that exciting. And then we take a huge jump at number 7, and then we're rocking and rolling the rest of the way. So interesting stuff out there on this Fed Day. I think it just took markets a little bit of time to digest the news, which again, not that surprising. Fed Day, people tend to keep their powder dry for the first half of the session, and then they make up for it with gusto. All right, let's go out to our year-to-date movers and shakers on this Just the Facts, ma'am, edition of the Futures Rundown this week. What is lighting up our tape for the year, to the light side and to the downside? Let's go to the downside first. Let's do number 5 to the downside. We've got Palladium off nearly 21% year to date, listeners. So a rough year for some of the precious names, including Palladium. Number 4, you can pretty much guess this just about every year that we've done the show so far, which is 2, which is OJ, off a little over 25, about 25.5% for the number 4 spot. Number 3, it's Bitcoin, 27.33%. in arrears for the year, listeners. Number 2, you know what it is. It's cocoa, off about 31%. And unfortunately, even with this week's move, ETH can't budge out of the bottom of our list of losers, listeners, off 42.5%. So ETH and cocoa are number 1 and 2 losers for the year. Certainly getting a lift this week, but not enough to climb them out of the cellar where they are unfortunately hanging out right now. All right, let's wrap things up on a more positive note. To the upside we go. Number 5, even with the sell-off this week, listeners, crude still looking juicy, up about 33% so far year to date. Number 4, it's soybean oil, up about 37%. Then we jump up quite a bit to RBOB, number 3, up about 48.5%. Number 2, it was our number 1. It has fallen to number 2. It's heating oil, up 54.25%. So still ridiculously lofty. Not quite at the astronomical levels it was at just a few weeks ago out there. So all you folks looking forward to heating your homes in the winter, maybe taking a bit of a sigh of relief there, even though it is still going to be pricey. And the top dog right now, year to date, is a complex really no one had their eyes on. It managed to sneak past all the hot stuff, crude oil, gas, heating oil, even a little bit of soybean oil, snuck past all the oils and got right to the top of the upside movers. What is it? It's non-fat dry milk, up 59% year to date. All right, and that is going to do it for our Just the Facts, Ma'am edition of the Futures Rundown. Not going to do it for us on the network today, though. Back again after the closing bell. It is day 2 of SpaceX options. It was the hottest IPO options launch in history, roughly 5x the previous record holder, which is Meta, which is kind of wild that it's been that long, since 2012. How will they fare today? Also, a Fed day. How will that impact the options market? Tune into the hot options report after the closing bell to find out. Then we're back again to wrap up your truncated holiday week with a taste of the option block as well as the sister program to this one, This Week in Futures Options. And then we're off for the holiday on Friday and then back again next week all the way through to next Wednesday. Another episode of the Futures Rundown. Stay safe out there, everybody.
You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play.